Hey guys, Mr. Perkins here. Here's your next video, and we're going to be looking at identifying revenues, which is objective 3.01. So let's go ahead and add this to your notebook, okay? So let's go. First of all, what is a budget, or what are budgets? Budgets are projections of revenues and expenses for business over a period of time. Okay? Now, key points on budgets. Budgets can be daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly. Yearly budgeting is broken down into one or more of the categories mentioned. And when I say one or more of the categories, I'm referring back to daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. So every company, every organization has to have a budget. Just like people at home, you know, your mom and dad, they have a budget. They know how much money they're going to have to cover all the bills each month. Same thing with business. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Oh, and one other point, budgets are constantly changing all the time. So they're not going to stay the same, they are going to change. Next slide. What does revenue actually mean? Revenue is any money coming into a business. So anything that's taken in by the business is considered revenue. Key points on that. Number one, resources must be secured. And number two, facility managers can increase revenue through food and beverages, luxury boxes, special seating, and parking. So it's the facility manager's job to make sure enough revenue is coming in, enough money is being taken in to that facility to cover their budget. And number three, another way facility managers can get more money in the door of a facility is through special events, just like they're having right now the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. They're having that in Charlotte at Time Warner Cable Arena. It is a special event. It's only held once every 4 years. So it's a really big deal for Charlotte to have that event. So that's bringing a lot of money into Charlotte, and it's affecting every business around the arena. Okay? So that's how that works. Now, let's look at our next slide. Next slide. Revenues include. Now, these are just different types of revenue, different ways you can bring money into a business. Number one is through advertising. Or you can have investors. These are people that are willing to give you money to support your cause, or to support your product, or to make your product, whatever. Another way to bring in more revenue is broadcasting rights. Now, this is really big for sports today. Broadcasting rights makes millions upon millions of dollars. Matter of fact, in the NFL, every owner in the NFL can cover every one of their bills before they ever sell a ticket, just from the profits they make from broadcasting rights. You probably didn't know that, but that is true. That's how these players are able to make so much money, because the contracts are set up based on the money that's coming in through broadcasting rights. Okay? Sponsorships is another way to bring in more money. Merchandise, selling official merchandise, not knockoff stuff, official merchandise. That's another way. TV commercials, ticket sales, whether they be PSLs, and those are permanent seat license seats. People pay a fee to sit in the same seat every single game. Season ticket sales, and individual sales. Another thing you could have is pre-game events and post-game events. Pre-game event is anything that goes on before the game or before the event. Post-game event is anything that goes on after the game or after the event. Okay, just a few examples there. Next slide. And our last slide of the day, how do venues secure money from public sources? Well, there's 4 different ways that we're going to cover that they can secure this money. Number one is through hospitality tax. Hospitality tax is levied against hotel rooms and car rentals. Then you have property tax. Property tax is levied against land, houses, and automobiles. Then you have food and beverage tax. Food and beverage, just what it sounds like, is levied against prepared food and drinks. And ticket tax is levied against event tickets to improve facilities. So most of the time, tax that is put on ticket sales, that money goes back to the facility so they can continue to keep the facility in good working order. Guys, that's all for your notes for today for Objective 3.01. That's what you need to know. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.